So there's a Gemara that says 613, but there are interpretations of the 613 saying that those are just categories. The amount of mitzvahs in the Torah are... And one of them is one that I think is often misunderstood. So first we have to learn what the mitzvah is of taking a woman captive in war. Under what conditions can we take a captive? What are the conditions that we have to fulfill prior to taking? What are the conditions that we have to fulfill during and then after? And how do we understand what is really going on here? So first we have to see what the mitzvah is. So I thought a good way to start without too much controversy is to look at the Rambam. The Rambam in Mishnah Torah. Mishnah Torah is the magnum opus, right? The great work of the Rambam in Halacha. And in one of the books, the Mishnah Torah is made up of 14 books. In Shoftim, in the book of Shoftim, there's Hilchot Melachim and Milchamot, laws of kings and wars. Chapter 8, this is where the Rambam talks about conduct during war. And he says something very interesting. Chalutzei HaTzava, soldiers, shikansu b'gvul hagoyim, when they enter Gentile lands, okay, v'yichbeshu otam, and conquer them, v'yeshvu mehen, and take captives, mutar lehem le'echol nevelot v'trefot v'basar chazir v'chayotze bo. They can eat nevelas, right, dead animals, treifas, animals that are treif, that are not kosher. Basar chazir, you can eat pig, etc., etc., etc. I guess that's the way you could get calamari, right? You have to go to. All right. And im ra'ev velo matza ma yochal ela ma'achalot elu asurim. The only condition is he has to be hungry and he couldn't find any other food. So if you're hungry and you find fruit baskets, right, from the Fruit of the Month Club, not advertising that at home, you know. So what happens? Can you eat the fruit?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Can you eat the bacon that's next to the fruit?
No. Only if you're still hungry.
Only if you're still hungry. Why does the Rambam have to say, if the person is starving, the Torah allows a person who's starving to eat whatever he wants. He has to eat. He's starving. Why does he have to say here, im ra'ev? I mean, the Torah clearly tells us, if you're in a situation that life or death, you don't have any food, you're going to die, then you eat whatever you want. Well, you eat whatever you can. So why is the Rambam saying, if you're hungry, how does that work? Anybody? It's a softball question for you guys. You can hit it out of the park. Because I gave you already the answer in what I said.
Because you might not be starving, you're just hungry.
That's the answer. Right? That's exactly the point. Very good. If you're hungry, there's no heter. Right? If you're walking around in Jerusalem and you're hungry, you're just hungry. Can you go into any shawarma shop and order whatever you want, according to halacha? Asur. You have to find one that is kasher. Glat. Oh, yefem mod. If you want, then it has to be Bet Yosef Chalak. Chalak Bet Yosef. Right? If you're hungry, there is no heter to eat whatever you want. But at war, if you're hungry, you're able to eat whatever you want. Why? So I don't know that. Try to think. I think I have a reason. I haven't seen it anywhere, but I think there's an obvious answer to this. Why? Why does the Torah allow us to eat when we're hungry during a time of war, but doesn't allow us to eat?
Where you're going, where you may be conquering, there may not be any extra food. You may not
So just wait until you're starving.
You'll be weakened and you're a soldier of war, aren't you?
So then what happens?
Then your enemies have an advantage of you and you can
Which means what? You're in a situation of what? Pikuach nefesh. That's it. Right. Baruch Hashem. Very good. You got it. If you're hungry at war, that could lead to pikuach nefesh. Because the guy's coming at you with a spear and you're thinking like, hot dogs. Wish I had a hot... Oh my God! Here he comes. Right? He yells, Banzai! They didn't yell Banzai. No more yelling, I know. I won't do it again. But there weren't Banzai in the ancient world, as far as we know. But, okay. So what did we learn in this rule? What does this have to do with a beautiful woman? What does this... we just learned that you're allowed to eat treif, pig.
take it going.
Right? We learned at the time of war, if you're hungry, you could eat stuff.
So if you're hungry, you can eat it going.
If you're... Wait. The Rambam, the next line in the Rambam says, V'chen bo'el isha. And also to have relations with a woman while she is begiuta, while she's not Jewish. Im tokfo yitzro, if his yetzer attacks him. The Rambam, the Meforshim explain that the Rambam puts the category of captive woman in the same category as eating things that you're not allowed to eat otherwise. Which means what? Yes, but should you do it?
No.
The fact that the Torah, there's a question of how to understand the pasuk. I'm going to read the pasuk now and you tell me how you understand it. כי תצא למלחמה על אויביך ונתנו השם אלוקיך בידיך ושבית שביו וראית בשביה אשת יפת תואר וחשקת בה ולקחת לך לאישה. So somebody read this and said, that's a mitzvah. When I go out to war against my enemies and God gives me those enemies that I conquer them, Shem says, if I can take captives, I have a mitzvah to take captives, and I have a mitzvah to take her and sleep with her. It's a mitzvah. I hear. I hope not. End of shir. Shabbat shalom. Right? No, chas v'shalom. But I will tell you who says it. You know? You remember from yesterday? The Orach Chaim. The Orach Chaim says, I will read it, mitzvah. So it says, ושבית השביו מצווה, כדי שלא יראה כמזלזל במתנת המלך. It's a mitzvah so he doesn't appear like he is looking down upon a gift that the king gave him. Mitzvah. That's one way to learn. But you have a mitzvah here. How is the Rambam learning? What does he compare? Is there a mitzvah to eat pork?
No, it's a leniency.
Even if the girl's not Jewish?
Yes, we're only talking in a case that she's not a Jew. You're not allowed to sleep with a Jew.
So the Rambam's learning that.
Yeah, without kiddushin?
Sorry.
And you're going to go to war against a Jewish woman? Good luck to you. Have you ever met a weak Jewish woman?
That's called marriage.
No. Chas v'shalom. If you want to get married and you want to call it going to war, you've lost the battle, son. You've lost it. So Hadrachat Chatan, you know, this is a class that they do for people who get married. You have a lot of work.
It's not pikuach nefesh. This is not pikuach nefesh. If you're comparing it to the thing before.
But it's not pikuach nefesh. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it is. Think now of what we said earlier with being hungry. You're hungry, it means what? The Yetzer is telling you, you got to eat something, you got to eat something. You're taking the eye off the ball. Is that okay to use in British examples? Because that's a... But we don't know what ball we're talking about, right? It could be a football, it could be a soccer ball,
Baseball.
a baseball, it could be anything. A basketball, rugby, golf ball. Right? When they say, 4, and you don't know where the ball is, that could really hurt. Right?
So the Rambam's learning that you can only do this if your Yetzer Hara takes control of you.
Oh, so the Rambam is putting those two into categories in a sense that's how I'm reading. Because one of the Meforshim says that one of the Mesei Kelim on the Rambam says that it's in the same category because it's in the same sort of situation when there is a Yetzer that is attacking you and there is a certain danger that it would affect your performance in battle. So, okay, but it's not lechatchila, it's b'di'evid. This is not what you should be doing. You're better off not doing it. Got it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Question.
Yes.
I'm wondering why the Orach Chaim says that you shouldn't straight because Hashem gave you the gift, but wouldn't he understand that even though even if Hashem is giving you a gift, doesn't mean you should use it. Like Hashem gives a woman a gift to
if
a
Hashem
singer.
Wait. Fine. I hear your question. Very good question. Hashem gives you a brain. You're the smartest person in the room. And you say, Hashem, thank you for the gift. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to play video games. Was it Candy Crush, right? What? Right? Hashem gave you a tool. Hashem gave you hands to perform mitzvahs. Instead, you do something else with it. Chas v'shalom. No examples, please. Just look in the mirror. When Hashem creates a situation, we talked about this in a different class. We talked about the idea that every experience that HaKadosh Baruch Hu provides for us is an opportunity either to go up or to go down. So if we bring the discussion from Hilchot Shuvah here, an opportunity like Rav Dessler learns, it's an opportunity to go up or to go down. The question is, with this woman, are you going to go up or are you going to go down?
That's not how the Orach Chaim is.
If you're learning like the Orach Mitzvah or a Chaim, then you're doing a mitzvah.
Right.
If you read on,
But that's not what the Orach Chaim says. But the Orach Chaim is going to say something that is going to knock you out cold. So fine, what's the rule? What's the deal? Says the Rambam. Because we're just learning. So, Bo'el Isha Begiuta, the soldier sleeps with a woman as she's not a Jew. Okay? Lo yif'ol ota, he can't do it right wherever he wants. That's the condition. During, right? He sees the woman, she's captive. He sees her, he can't just go and take her wherever she is. Yelech lo ela machnisa letoch beito. Has to do in his house. For it says, and he quotes the pasuk, and he can't sleep with her again until he marries her. She's not Jewish, so how can he marry her? Exactly. That's what we're going to find out. So he says the following: "En eshet yefat toar, a beautiful woman, is only permissible only at the time of her captivity."
What if she's ugly?
That's the next one. He says that. He says that. The Mefarshim ask on the pasuk. I'll tell you what Rashi says. Rashi says the type of war we're talking about is only milchemet reshut. There are two types of wars. A war that is milchemet mitzvah, right? A mitzvah type of war, conquering the land of Israel, or a defensive war that you're being attacked. Or milchemet reshut, which is something that it's not necessarily a mitzvah, but you are sort of making a decision that we're going to go to war. Rashi says, "V'lakachta licha isha," you took a woman. The Torah lo dibra ad Torah ela keneged yetzer hara. The Torah understood that the yetzer at the time of war is the strongest. And if the Torah wasn't going to allow it, the person was going to do it anyway. That's what Rashi says. But he says the Torah tells him that if you're going to marry her, you are going to hate her. So we see that Rashi and the Rambam both learn that this is b'di'evid. It's not lechatchila. This is not what you should be doing. Like going to war and saying, I gotta take a captive because I have this mitzvah. Yes, you have a mitzvah to divorce a woman. Should you act on it? No. As much as you can to have shalom bayit, right? The Torah says there's a mitzvah to divorce a woman. There's a whole process. There's a whole tractate in the Gemara, Gittin, how to do it and how to do it properly. But is it a mitzvah that you should do? Pursue it? No. Same thing here. Okay. Ibn Ezra says, it says Eshet, which is a woman, Yefat Toar. He says, it doesn't have to be an absolute term. She has to be beautiful? No. Has to be beautiful to you. And beauty is what? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Velakachta lecha leisha. What is the desire that you should have? The verse says, and this is what the Rambam was alluding to, you have to have the desire to marry her. If you have the desire just to sleep with her, or you have the desire not to sleep with her, but you just want to marry her without sleeping with her, it doesn't work. Okay?
Both.
You have to have the desire to sleep with her and marry her. If you just want to sleep with her because you want to tell the guys, like you wouldn't believe the war goggles I had. Look at this. The Ramban here is very important. That he has to take the woman in order to marry her. There's a question though of what is actually supposed to happen. Is he supposed to, let's say he looks over the area where the women are captive, and there's Susan there, and he walks over to Susan and he says, come with me, and he takes her to home, has to shave her head, grow her nails, cut her nails, that's a separate debate. She has to wait for 30 days, right? And then he could be with her.
Sleeping.
Yeah. That, my friends, is not going to work at the time of war. If you tell soldiers, yeah, the Torah says you can sleep with them. Yeah? Which ones? Whichever one you marry. I'd like to marry her. Okay. Here's what you're going to do. So can I sleep with her? No, you have to wait. What do you mean wait? You have to wait 30 days. And you have to shave her head. But I don't want to sleep with her when she's got a shaved head and these, nappy, nails. And, you have to change her clothes and she's crying all month. And then the Rambam says later on, and you have to wait 2 more months to make sure she's not pregnant. You have to wait 90 days. Sounds that more enticing, isn't it? So there's a machloket in the Gemara.
Because she could have been pregnant from before you took a captive.
Yeah. You need to know to differentiate between a Jewish kid and not a Jewish kid.
He's not Jewish anyway, because she's not Jewish.
What?
She's not Jewish.
No, but the Rambam says after the 30 days, she's a Jew.
Just like that.
She's a Jew.
It's the conversion process.
It's a conversion process. It's a special law, special rule. And then you marry her. And once you marry, you have to divorce her according with a get, the whole thing.
Once you marry, you have to divorce?
No, you don't have to, but if you decide you don't want her now you're married, you can't just tell her, beat it. Can't I don't want you. I'll clarify so that you're not confused. Yes?
Is she forced to be Jewish then?
To some extent, yes. Yeah. The Rambam though says, his lashon is the language that he uses, that if, when he takes her home, she says, no, I want to convert, right away. She says, I want to convert, then he can convert her right away and marry her and have a beautiful family, everything is fine.
And he won't hate.
And not wait
He
30
won't
days.
hate.
Correct.
But he still needs to wait the 2 months.
To make sure, yeah.
But if she wants to convert, he won't hate her, or he'll still hate her anyway.
That's Rashi, it's not Rambam. Let's not bring them. Let's not conflate different shitas. The debate in the Gemara that the Ramban brings, and it's also the Meforshim on the Rambam, is the soldier allowed to sleep with this woman before the 30-day period or not? So you're saying no. The Rambam says yes.
But then she might, if she is pregnant after the 90 days, it could be okay.
Could be.
Defeating the purpose.
But then he is not, he is going to be a ger, and he's not related to you. Because he was produced by when the mother was not a Jew.
It's going to be a mamzer.
It's not a mamzer. It's not a mamzer. Mamzer is only in the case of adultery, a married woman.
An illicit affair.
Yeah. So the machloket, and this is, I want to read the Ramban for this, because it's very important. The Ramban says that according to the Pshat, it appears that he's not allowed to have relations with her until he does all these conditions. 30 days, shave the head, cutting the nails, growing the nails, changing clothes, her mourning her, the loss of her parent, whatever, all these things. And when it says you desired her to marry her, it means that he is going to marry her, he's going to take her to be a woman only after he does all these things. That, he says, the Ramban says, that is the pshat of what the text seems to say, the Torah seems to say. But the Gemara in Kiddushin says that no, he's allowed to sleep with her once in the battlefield, not in an open area, of course, somewhere private. And then has to do all these other things. Why? Because why are you allowing him to take this woman in the first place? Because he's got a yetzer. A yetzer is attacking him. Right? He's got war goggles. So there's a machloket in, this is what the Ramban is bringing, and the Meforshim on the Rambam bring. There is a machloket in the Gemara. Whether can you be with this woman before the 30 days or only after the 30 days? That's the machloket.
You said if she wants to convert.
Yes, but the question is, if she wants to convert when? After the first time you slept with her? Because according to the Rambam, the Rambam says that you're allowed to sleep with her once, and then you have to do all these things. The Ramban says, according to the pshat of the Torah, you're not allowed to be with her. You could take her to your home and do all these things that you need to do in order for you to sleep with her. And when you're sleeping with her, then she's already a Jew.
So would the Rambam say that if you do sleep with her first, you have to take her back then?
You have to, yeah. You have to do this. It's only after the 30 days, if you don't want her, you tell her, listen, it's not working out.
You have to give her a get, though.
No.
No?
No. Because you didn't marry her yet. Because you slept with her when she wasn't a Jew.
And then the second is
That's all right. That's married. That is, yep, yeah. So the Ramban, we were learning that there is a machloket about it. So now, yes.
I want to know, since it's a commandment of the Torah to do this in the war, if you actually go through the process, is it considered a mitzvah? Like you get split for it?
So I'm going to tell you, because we're going to now listen to Orach Chaim. Orach Chaim says something very interesting that is, we have to really, really understand what is going on here. He says the following. There's a question. Why would Hashem command us things like this? Letame Adam atzmo bebat kel nechar. Why would Hashem command us, that answers your question, to defile ourselves with a woman who believes in idols? Why would the Torah command us to do this?
Because if you're
Let the question sink in.
Because you said we were going to do it anyway.
What?
You said we were going to do it anyway.
So what? If I tell you, listen, you live in my house, no drinking, let's say in after 10 o'clock. Okay? And I know you're going to drink. Do I say, then you know what? Since I know you're going to drink because you're graduating and you've got your buddies coming for a pool party, so tonight I'll let you drink. No. Since when does Hashem suspend mitzvahs?
Ain't there.
But he's asking.
But there's a terror.
But the Orach Chaim is asking why? Why in this case?
Because he's a cool dad.
There's a terror.
Yeah, wait till when you say Avinu Malkeinu.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't sound there anywhere. But Hashem is as cool as it gets. But there's a different goal here.
There's a deterrent.
because of his yetzer.
But there's all the sins are the Yetzer.
But there's a deterrent in.
But there's a Yetzer. Every time we could say, listen, that when you're 16, 17, and the Yetzer attacks you, the guy can't control it. He's 17 years old, 18 years old. You're gonna have to give him an outlet. So the Torah, why don't you let him have an outlet? But the Torah says no. So the Orach Chaim is asking the very, very important question. If the principle is that we are supposed to be holy, we are supposed to be pure, why is the Torah allowing us, or mitzvah, he's using the lashon of tzivui, why are we allowed to do this? So he says, Bifrat b'maaseh nes, in a time that there's a nes, there's a miracle happening. What's the miracle? So you're fighting a war against your enemies and you're winning them. במקום שצריך להוסיף טהרה ודבקות בשם. Instead of it's a nes, you're at war, you need Hashem to help you, right? And you, instead of adding holiness and dvekus in the Kadosh Baruch Hu and connecting to Him even more by, let's say, he reads, he could say, the Yetzer is attacking you, read Tehillim. Yell Shema Yisrael. Not go to the captive woman and sleep with her. You hear the question that Orach Chaim is asking? It's a very, very powerful question. And if you learned in last week, Parshat Re'eh, the Orach Chaim talks about who is allowed to go to war. It's somebody that is not afraid to go to war because they have no sins. Who's going to war then? The tzaddikim are going to war. So what? The Yetzer Hara is going to convince a tzaddik to take some woman and sleep with her in the battlefield? You hear what the issue is that the Orach Chaim is talking about? He says, we find in the Rambam, Shenatan Tam im Yirav, that the only reason that God allows us to eat unkosher food during war is because we're hungry. And this is the correct response. Aval ma'aseh zeh yetav'enu osenu. But God hates this act. Our Maker doesn't like this. Doesn't want us to do this. It's completely b'di'evid. So is it a mitzvah back there? It is.
It's technically a mitzvah, but it's not a mitzvah that Hashem necessarily wants you to fulfill.
Correct. And the rabbis Chazal say, לא דיברה תורה אלא כנגד יצר הרע. מן הראוי הוא להכניעו ולאבדו מלב עם קדוש. At the time that they go to war in the name of their king, which is God, they should destroy their yetzer because they're going for Hashem. He's learning it's not a milchemet reshut, milchemet mitzvah, maybe. So he says, so what's the answer? How could the Torah do this? So he says there's a secret teaching here. Secret teaching is that there are holy souls among the Gentiles that we need to bring them into Judaism. And this is one way to do it. Why? Because he explains that when you have a holy soul of a tzaddik that is connects to a tamei soul, he draws out whatever kedusha that there was in the impure soul, he draws it out. If he draws it out completely and there's nothing else left, then he, after 30 days, he lets the woman go. But if through this connection, he sees that in that person there's a holy soul, then he marries her and she becomes Jewish and brought her back to the Jewish people. That's the idea. But that means only a tzaddik can do this. You have something on tip of your tongue?
Yeah, also that we said though that we have to marry, that he has to decide before if that he wants to sleep with her
B'diuk.
and marry her.
Correct.
But now we're saying once he sees if her soul is holy.
No, the fact that he's looking at her and has the desire to marry her, that tells him that there's something holy there. But there's two options. Either that he's going to draw all the holiness out and it'll be done, or that no, it will only appear that will be midgale. What's the word for that? Reveal, thank you. Reveal that this is the holy soul. And in a sense, redeem it for the Jewish people. Bring it to the Torah. Bring it to Hashem. And he says, and that's the explanation. That's what he's explaining. That he says, when a person performs a mitzvah, a man is enveloped with this light, and it would remove any evil from him, and it will protect him. And this is what is it really happening? That when you're going to a war, this is in a very, very specific situation. That you're going to draw this beautiful soul and bring it into the Jewish people.